Thanks, Craig. I'm here at historic Royal Pin Woodland Bowl, where I had the chance to have a conversation with our top 5 finalists just to really see how hard these lanes are out here. I'm here with 5th seed of the stepladder finals, Bill O'Neill. Hi, Bill. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So, you previously won this event. How does this tournament feel different, or how has it changed from then to now?
I'm a lot older now. The gray hairs are in, a lot more baby faced, and but I feel the same, physically bowling. So I'm ready to get out of here and take on all these guys. Hello.
We're at one of the hardest tournaments of the season, the US Open. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Bowl on 56 more games, or sit next to someone who takes their shoes off on a plane?
Definitely going to be smelling the smelly feet. Don't want to bowl 56 games again.
And what makes the 56 games out here so grueling?
The 56 games.
So what's harder? Averaging 200 on pattern 1, or sitting behind Kyle Troop at the movie theaters?
I like Kyle a lot, but that froze in and out a little bit, so I think it's definitely going to be harder to average 200 than it is to see through the fro.
Out here at the US Open, you're bowling on some tough patterns out there. What pattern was the toughest in your opinion, and why?
Day 3's pattern was by far the hardest. I don't know if I've ever bowled on a pattern that hard. To have 49 feet of oil with very low volume, so that, you bowl in that length of oil and the ball cannot skid towards the pocket. So when you get it a little left, it goes high. When you get it right, it misses the head pin. And the reason why I made the cut is because that pattern got so hard at the end.
So you are a top seed for the show.
Mm-hmm.
You have 1 game to get to the next US Open title, to be title number 2. What would that mean to you?
It'd be pretty special. Looking at, really just before I got on the road, the last thing I saw in my closet was my green jacket from 2022. So it'd be pretty sweet to defend that. It would just kind of add, I guess, some more love for me for this place that I already have.
What is more grueling, bowling 56 games out here on some of the hardest patterns, or sitting next to someone on an airplane who takes their shoes off?
Yeah, both aren't great. If you do sit next to someone like that, you one-up them, all right? You take your shoes off, and I don't know, maybe take your shirt off.
Okay.
And just straight one-up them and go, you think you're weird. You're sitting next to someone even weirder.
You can always go better.
Always one-up them.
This is going to be one of the shows for the history books. What are your thoughts on the stepladder finals?
Well, there's a lot of great players, a lot of titles, a lot of major championships on this show. Definitely gonna have to throw a lot of strikes, that's for sure. This is definitely up there of one of the best shows overall that there's ever been.
Your stepladder finalist competitor, EJ Tackett, is a new father. What advice would you give him as a new father that you would also give advice to somebody bowling the US Open?
I can't say it.
What kind of advice would you give to EJ, a little bit of fatherly advice that you would also give to somebody out here bowling the US Open?
Oh, a patience. Very much a quality that you need as a parent and also bowling the US Open. Don't fall asleep while you're working. If the baby's eating, you don't want to be falling asleep, and you don't want to be falling asleep waiting for your turn.
So what's harder, sitting in 3 hours of LA traffic or seeing another 2-8-10 off a good shot?
If I didn't leave so many 2-8-10s, I would probably take the traffic because I drive a lot, but it was a pretty rough week for 2-8-10s and I didn't make any, so.
Would you rather only throw plastic on pattern number 3, or would you like to sit next to somebody on an airplane who takes their shoes off?
They can take their shoes off on the airplane, no problem. I wear slides literally all the time, so there's no way my shoes are staying on.
So one of your competitors, EJ Tackett, is a new father out here. What kind of advice would you give him as new fatherly advice that you can also give somebody bowling the US Open?
Yeah, as a mate telling a new father, probably the best piece of advice I can give is the worst possible days with your kids are still better than the days you're away from them.
Jason Belmonte is our number 2 seed. You guys have been clashing it out for about a decade here or 2 on TV. What might that feel like to probably bowl him again for another major?
To bowl Belmo again it would be really cool, especially in a US Open. This is a major championship where I haven't bowled him on TV yet, so it'd be cool to do that. And again, try to go out there and bowl a great game, and at the end of it, hopefully I can win, but if I don't, I like to just make him earn it.
The only other question I have is for past US Open champions.
All right, well, I guess I will have to get to work. Sorry for all the other guys on the show, but I'm gonna have to have to join that crew. I think a green jacket would go well with this green outfit, so maybe I'll ask you the next question after I'm a US Open champion.
That works. Turns out these guys would much rather get a root canal than leave another 2-8-10 out here on pattern 3. So which one of these 5 major champions will make the ultimate adjustment and win that coveted green jacket? Find out coming up next in the 2024 US Open on Fox. Back to you, Craig.